I recently posted a recipe for scones, which are little bread cake hybrids, commonly served with jam, clotted cream, sometimes butter, and always tea. Tea cakes are lesser known tea time treats, at least to the wider world. While the name may imply that it's a cake, it is certainly not. It is a sweet, soft, spiced yeast-leavened bun. To serve, it is sliced in half, toasted, and topped with plenty of butter and jam. And if you're into your sweet tea time treats, this one should definitely be on your list. So let's get right into it. Let me show you how it's made, starting with the ingredients. We'll need white bread flour, water, an egg, yeast, salt, sugar, mixed spice, butter, lemon zest, raisins, and we'll need some more sugar and water for the glaze, but that is optional. I appreciate that mixed spice may not be commonly available where you live, so I've included a recipe in the written instructions so you can make your own. It's made up of allspice, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, coriander, and ginger. Okay, moving on to the equipment. We'll need a tray with some non-stick paper for baking. We'll need a bowl for mixing our dough in, scales, a dough scraper, a temperature probe, a brush for the syrup glaze if you do decide to apply it, and a fine grater for the lemon zest. And by the way, you can use orange zest instead. A tea cake is a very basic bake, so I decided to go the extra mile to make it slightly fancier. We'll soak the raisins to make them nice and soft and juicy. I will use some black tea as the liquid for soaking. Tea cake with tea-soaked raisins? That seemed pretty interesting to me. If you don't want to mess around with tea, you can just soak them in water. Pour the hot liquid over the raisins, leave them to cool down completely. Around half an hour to an hour later, they should be ready for use. You want to give them enough time to soak up the liquid. We also want them to cool down so the dough doesn't turn out too warm. Another idea would be to keep the tea and then use it instead of water for the dough. But I haven't tried that myself, so I'm not sure how well it would work. Perhaps the tea would be a little bit too strong. Okay, so the raisins have cooled down, I've strained off the liquid, now we can move on to making our dough. First things first, temperature control. My kitchen's at around 21 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. But I forgot to take my egg out of the fridge, so that's why I'm using slightly warmer water. And as we'll see in a minute, the dough will still turn out a little bit cool, which is not a big deal of course. Okay, so to make the dough, in a large bowl, combine the water, the yeast, the salt, the sugar, the mixed spice, the lemon zest, the soaked raisins, melted butter, and the egg, and then give it all a good mix. Finally, add the bread flour and mix it to a dough. Sometimes tea cake recipes contain candied mixed peel, which is just a mix of candied orange peel and lemon peel. You can certainly swap part of the raisins or all the raisins with it, or you could use some different dried fruits altogether. It's up to you. And of course, if you can't find mixed spice, or if you can't be bothered making it, you can just use some cinnamon instead. Right, once the dough is fully mixed, give it a quick temperature check. Mine turned out a little bit cool, at just below 23 degrees Celsius or 73 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, bulk fermentation took me 2 hours. But because this is a no-knead dough, we are punctuating the bulk fermentation with 2 folds at 40-minute intervals. If your dough is warmer, it will ferment more rapidly. Bulk fermentation may take only an hour and a half. So you want to space out your folds at 30-minute intervals. You can fold the dough on the table or in the air like I'm doing it now. Simply push the sides down and then back up into the center until you have a nice tight dough ball. And be sure to use some flour to avoid any stickage. Let the dough ferment for another 40 minutes and then give it a second fold. Place it back into the bowl, leave it to ferment for 40 more minutes. And now we're done with bulk fermentation. We can move on to dividing and pre-shaping. My tea cakes turned out pretty huge, which is exactly what I wanted. But if you want to make smaller ones, you can divide this dough into 5 pieces instead. But whatever you do, don't eyeball it. Always weigh your dough before dividing it. After dividing, shape your random pieces of dough into nice little balls. The dough is a little bit sticky, so use a dusting of flour. Take a piece of dough, flatten it, then fold the edge over the middle, go around in a circle to reach point where you started. Then flip it smooth side up, tighten it against the table. That's your pre-shaping done. Earlier, when we were folding during bulk fermentation, you could have used the same method. But whether you do it up in the air or on the table, the result will be the same. Okay, after pre-shaping, cover up the dough balls, leave them to rest for 20 minutes. During the resting stage, the gluten relaxes, makes our job easier during final shaping. And the final shaping technique for tea cakes is probably the easiest one out there. All we need to do is flatten them. You can do it by hand, or you can do it with a rolling pin. They don't need to be very thin, you're not making flatbreads here. The main purpose of this is just to make them wider. It should be the shape of a big burger patty. Of course, if you want to, you can make round, tall standing buns. In that case, simply repeat what you did in the pre-shaping step. Whatever you decide to do, after final shaping, place your dough on a non-stick paper lined baking tray, cover it up, leave it for the final proof, which took me around an hour and a half. It may take you 1 hour if your dough is warmer. During this time, preheat the oven, 170 degrees Celsius, fan on, and that's 340 Fahrenheit. If your oven doesn't have a fan, go for 190 degrees Celsius, fan off, and that will be 375 Fahrenheit. Right, these puppies are ready for the oven, so let's get them in there. They'll take around 20 to 25 minutes to fully bake. Usually tea cakes are not glazed before baking, they're also not glazed after baking, but I wanted mine to be nice and shiny, so I brushed them with a sugar syrup glaze after baking. Just before the tea cakes come out of the oven, combine the sugar and the water in a small pan and bring it up to a boil. As soon as you remove the tea cakes from the oven, brush them with that hot sugar syrup. It'll turn the crust color nice and rich, it'll make it super shiny. It will also make the tea cakes extra sweet and sticky, and it will make them stay softer for longer. But there is a trade-off. They're a bit messy when they're sticky like that, but I can live with that. What you do with your tea cakes is up to you. But one thing you should definitely do is toast them, apply plenty of butter and strawberry jam. There are so many great things about this. The sticky sweet crust, the soft and fluffy interior, flavored with mixed spice and dotted with juicy raisins, and the crunchy toasted part, layered with loads of butter and jam. This is seriously good stuff. I enjoyed that so much that I decided to make a loaf out of it. So here's the second version of this recipe. A loaf has the advantage of being able to stay fresh for longer. Because of its smaller crust to crumb ratio, it doesn't lose moisture as quickly. The bigger the loaf, the longer it will stay fresh for. This of course is a small loaf, and I have no intention of storing it. I'm just telling you how it is, just so you know. Perhaps you already do. Anyhow, I decided to make a segmented loaf. So after bulk fermentation, I divided dough into 2 pieces. I shaped them and placed them in a baking tin. This is a 1 pound or 450 gram tin, which turned out slightly too small. You could easily use a 1.5 pound tin for this. The temperature of the dough and the fermentation times were pretty much the same as the previous recipe, and I also gave the dough 2 folds during bulk fermentation. The only difference was baking time. Whilst the tea cakes took 20 to 25 minutes, this loaf took around 40 minutes of baking at the same temperature. And there you have it. That's how you make tea cakes and a tea cake loaf. Both are extremely delicious, and you're not gonna go wrong making either one of them. If you enjoyed these types of breads, rich with butter, eggs, sugar, and perhaps spices, head over to the Enriched Dough playlist. It's full of recipes like this. The link on the screen will take you right there. And subscribe if you haven't already. It's not gonna cost you anything, and it will make me very happy. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.